family weekend. It's great to see so many family members on campus, as well as having our alums here back as well. Today you guys are going to hear from 5 successful alums and what really their experience here at SNC and what really shaped them who they are today. So before I get started, I'd like to quickly introduce Dr. Alan Walker, President of SNC. Dr. Walker is going into his 2nd year here at Sierra Nevada College, so it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Walker.
I wanted to be here this morning also to welcome everybody. You know, the success of a college or university is really measured by the success of its graduates. So we're very excited to have 5 of them here, a number of whom I've had a chance to meet my first year here at SNC. I think they'll have some interesting experiences to share with you and to give you a little bit of an idea of the kinds of things our graduates typically end up doing, which is pretty diverse when they leave SNC. And as I mentioned last night, for those of you who were at the reception, you know, one of the obligations we're committed to at SNC for our graduates, for our alums, is to increase the value of the degree they've earned from SNC. And we do that as we improve our profile and reputation. So along with that, as that happens, the value of the degree that our alums earn goes up as well. So we're really happy to have them here, and I think you'll find this to be an interesting session. I hope you'll ask them some questions. So thank you.
Now to kick things off, I would like to introduce Kendra Wong. Kendra Wong is their head, she's a faculty member here, and she's the faculty chair of our business department. Among other things, she's also a IFGID board of trustee here in town. So, ladies and gentlemen, Kendra Wong.
Thank you. So I'll just be facilitating today. Essentially, these guys are going to carry the heavy lifting in terms of content, but I wanted to give everybody a little bit of context of how this event came to be. One of our alumni, Seth Gonzalez, came to me about a year and a half ago and said, "Hey Kendra, it'd be really cool if our alumni could come back and highlight their expertise and share that with the SNC community, whether it be current students, alumni, and parents." So of course I reached out to James and said, "James, hey, how about we do this?" And James, being the great guy that he is, said, "Great, I'll start coordinating." So really, I just got to show up. He does most of the heavy lifting in terms of the planning. But this was really Seth's vision, and so last year was our first alumni panel, and I can't tell you how incredibly proud I am of not only these alumni that are sitting up here, but all of our alumni in general. The number one question I get from parents and from students when they come to visit me as well is, what does a college graduate do from Sierra Nevada College? And so this is a great way for our alumni to showcase that themselves without me necessarily having to explain that to parents. So with that, I will turn it over to our alumni panel. So each of them is going to introduce themselves, tell them a little bit about themselves, what their degree was here at SNC, and what they are up to now. So JT, I will let you go first.
Check. Awesome. Do I just sit? I don't know what these panel things. But yeah, thanks for having me, Kendra. My name is JT. I graduated class of 2013, business entrepreneurship major. And I gotta say that Sierra Nevada College was my main reason for being able to graduate and move on to the next level. First and foremost, I gotta start off, I'm a lucky guy. I have an amazing family that supported me, and they're actually here today, and my mom, Maggie, and my sister Keely. 2 of the big reasons why I actually was able to graduate college was because of just having strong role models, and both of them are probably about the strongest role models that you can have. And so with that, I come from a family that education was very important to us, and all of my family have bachelor's degrees, and then there was me. I would rather spend time chasing girls and playing in music and bands than actually wanting to go to school. So I found myself first semester of UNLV flunking out of college because I realized that you actually have to go in order to pass your classes. So that led me to find myself when I moved up to Lake Tahoe in 2007, got a job in TV, worked in TV for about 4 years, and I thought that was going to be the end-all be-all of my career, and I was going to be a local TV broadcast guy. And then the 2009 recession hit, and and I found myself out of a job. And so then I kind of went back to what I thought was important to me, and it was always going back and getting my education and getting my bachelor's degree. And so I started attending LTCC in South Lake Tahoe for the first 3 years. And then after that, I decided in 2010 to go back and pursue and get my bachelor's degree here at Sierra Nevada College. And I will say that this school and the teachers and the sum of the whole have really empowered me as an individual to actually graduate. And I was talking to James a little bit about my history, and if you were to look at me on paper when I was 24 years old, 23 years old, you would look at a kid who you could safely say would not graduate college, who was just going to keep living the lifestyle and having a great time. And it was through actually coming here and having small class sizes of 20 students to one teacher, and the accountability of actually, when you're not in class, them knowing that you're not in class, and really developing personal relationships with all my professors was, I think, the key that allowed me to really want to succeed and feel like I had the support to be able to succeed. And so, with that said, after graduating from Sierra Nevada in 2013, really it was because of one of my professors, Tim Coey, that I got a job at Squaw Valley Ski Resort and was their digital marketing coordinator and ran all the photo video program for them for the year. Then I had since moved on, and I've worked with Corey Rich, who's a really well-known world-class photographer, Chris Burkhart, another photographer out of San Luis Obispo, and have since moved on, and now I'm at Homewood Mountain Resort back in the ski industry as a events manager. And I can safely say that at every single interview I've had, having Sierra Nevada College on my resume in the ski industry, and then having Tim Coey's name on my resume as someone that you could actually mentor you and support you and give you a good recommendation, was priceless. And it was because of Sierra Nevada College that I was able to do those things, and that I was able to get the business acumen through the business plan competition to succeed. And so it's been an incredible ride. I get to say now I live my dream, and I get to shoot pretty photos and make fun events, and I actually am able to live in Lake Tahoe and make a living. And I think that's something that most people my age didn't think was possible or don't think was possible. And I think coming here, you actually realize that it is possible. And so that's pretty much SNC, and that's been my ride.
Thanks, JT. And now Jason Palladino.
Intro.
Yeah.
My name's Jason Palladino. I graduated in 2012, and I transferred into SNC from UC Santa Cruz, which is an amazing school, but I was having a similar issue where I was mountain biking more than I was going to class, and I didn't really know what I wanted to study, and tuition was going up 30% between my freshman and sophomore year at a supposedly public university that was already like gouging my parents and my bank accounts. So I left, and I actually traveled around South America a bit, and came back. I grew up in Truckee, California, just over the hill, and I was home, and I was just looking around, and I had sort of heard of Sierra Nevada College, but I wasn't really sure what it was. At that point, there wasn't a ton of marketing to the local high schools. And so I figured I'd come check it out, and I was really impressed, and I was even more impressed when I heard about the scholarship programs, and they were offering me, they were very generous with the financial aid. I had a similar thing where I'd be in UC Santa Cruz, and I'd be sitting in these lecture halls with 500 students, and I would just be thinking, this is not the right way to learn. There's no personal attention, and then I got here, and my largest class was 16, 17 people. I think I had one class of 30 people, and I just knew it was right for me, and could actually focus in classes and get to know my professors. And I started out in ski business, resort management, and then because of this managerial accounting class, I decided I shouldn't be in business. Kendra's an amazing professor. If there was anyone who could teach managerial accounting, it's Kendra, but I just learned it wasn't for me. So then I switched to the interdisciplinary studies program in outdoor adventure leadership. And I pretty much thought I was going to go into the outdoor education and guiding world. And then in my second year at SNC, I was introduced to the newspaper on campus, and Tanya Kanina. And I got very involved in the newspaper and loved it, and worked every position you can work in the newspaper, and ended up managing it, and really enjoyed it. And it was very skill-based. It wasn't, it was kind of, you're gonna learn by producing a 16-page newspaper every 2 weeks. And graduated and looked at my options, and journalism is a tough field. It's massively shrinking. And I decided I would apply to graduate school in journalism, which is a little bit crazy because you don't need any sort of license to go to to be a journalist. Like, anyone can be a journalist. But I talked to some people who recommended that move, and I applied to UC Berkeley's Graduate School of Journalism, sort of on a whim, and got in and decided, okay, I have to go. Was there for 2 years, graduated in May of 2015. I worked for BBC Technology for a little while, covering basically Silicon Valley for BBC. And then I got a fellowship at a small nonprofit called the Investigative Reporting Program. And I've been working there now for over a year, producing a series of stories on aging military aircraft. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Thank you. And now Allie Cohen Nugent.
Hi, everybody. I graduated SNC in 2011, and I was the first person to complete the dual degree program, where basically you take your undergrad courses at the same time as you're taking graduate courses. I came in knowing that I wanted to become a teacher, and I knew that SNC's teaching program was great, and so I was like, okay, so this is what I want to do. And it was really cool that they were able to allow me to take undergrad courses at the same time as taking the graduate courses, which accelerated the teaching program for me. I actually grew up in Incline and went to all 3 schools, Incline Elementary, middle, high school. And there was nothing more that I wanted to do. I wanted to leave Incline very bad. It was a very small town. It was, I was done with it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna graduate from high school. I'm gonna go. I ended up doing a year abroad, and then coming back and realizing, oh, I live in a pretty great place. I just needed some time. And then I was really fortunate to get a Fulbright scholarship to SNC after applying, and I'm extremely grateful for that every day.